Rev up your engine! Well, I just returned from an American Airlines flight from Buffalo to Boston that was supposed to take 57 minutes, but thanks to American Airlines, it took 2 days instead of 57 minutes. And how could that possibly have happened? Well, it's American Airlines, pretty much typical for them, right? They said that, well, one of the flight attendants decided not to show up and called up an hour before takeoff time and told them, hey, I'm not showing up today. They said they told her that, oh, she was feeling sick, right? But kind of coincidentally, this was Saturday morning. I'm thinking Friday night, maybe a bit too much drinking, whatever, right? But we couldn't take off. We had a pilot, we had a co-pilot, we had one flight attendant, but we didn't have the next one. So, from 9 o'clock in the morning until 2:30 in the afternoon, they kept saying, oh, the flight's taking off in 20 minutes, 20 minutes. And you look at your watch and it's past the time it's supposed to take off and nobody's even on the plane. The plane was there, full of fuel, ready to go, right? It's a 57-minute flight from Buffalo to Boston, but hey, it never did take off. Now, American Airlines is celebrating their 100th anniversary. Wow, right? And their new slogan is Forever Forward. Well, it's a very fitting slogan because they kept putting the time the plane was going to take off forward and forward and forward into time. And eventually they decided, oh, we'll just cancel the thing. And that's where the fun began. Okay, so we go up to the table with the girl there, and in front of us is a family from Toronto. They were flying international, and they went to Buffalo instead of Toronto because it was like $600 a ticket cheaper. That was their big mistake. They should have paid the extra money and flown out of Toronto. Well, that took about 45 minutes. I'm setting it up, giving them new flights, giving them hotel vouchers and food vouchers, right? So now it's my turn, and I come up to the counter, and I say, this is real easy. I want to get to Boston tonight, right? And JetBlue has a flight going to Boston. You can put me on JetBlue because you don't have any flights going there anymore. And the woman says, oh, I can't do that. So she said, no. Well, they were in an international flight. And I'm like, okay, there's like 80 people sitting around waiting for this plane that never took off. We're all in the same boat. We're all flying to Boston, right? The plane didn't take off. They didn't give us any other ways to go. And I say, give me a hotel room then. Oh, we don't give hotel rooms for this. If you're from Western New York, you don't get a hotel room. You can go home, right? So I show my Tennessee driver's license. I'm not from around here, lady. Right? And then she comes back with, we don't give hotel rooms for flights from Buffalo to Boston. They just gave the other people rooms, but I mean, you know, it's kind of crazy. So I said, okay, let me speak to your manager. She called the manager, and the manager says, oh, we don't give this, right? I said, let me talk to the manager. So she calls the manager back, and the manager says, I'm busy, and hangs up. So they're working on the next person behind me in a giant line of people trying to get the heck out of Buffalo, and I'm there another 20, 30 minutes. I said, will you please call the manager up? She calls the manager up. They don't even answer the phone, right? This is how they treat people at American Airlines. Now, I do have to say, some of the onus of this problem is my own because I was a fool. 14 years ago was the last time I flew American. I told my wife, I don't ever fly American again. They stuck us in the Miami airport saying that, oh, you got a co-pilot and a crew, but this time we don't have a pilot. And the pilot's coming in later and later. They kept saying, the pilot's going to come, he'll fly you. Well, guy standing next to me knew a lot more about planes than me. He got on his phone and he showed me. He said, the pilot that they are sending to fly us out of Miami is going to time out. They only have a certain amount of hours they can fly, then they have to rest. So what did they do? What did American Airlines do? Well, after they'd already taken us off the plane, they put us back in the plane at 11:30 at night. I'm not making this up. Then, around midnight, you can make a song out of this, right? Around midnight, we're on the PA. Unfortunately, the pilot has timed out and he can't fly the plane. Psst. They didn't offer us anything. We ended up sleeping in the Miami airport on the ground. All right? There were a whole bunch of people sleeping on the ground. And this is how disgusting it was. We're sleeping. There's a couple that had a baby sleeping on the floor. Here comes the guy on the machine that cleans the floor. He was coming within a foot of this baby. And of course, the baby woke up, started crying. They didn't have the common sense of seeing people are trying to sleep, stop cleaning the floor, right? But, I mean, these people work for a corporation. They're basically automatons. They do whatever they're told. They have no common sense whatsoever. And so we ended up sleeping on the frickin' floor in the Miami airport. And I told my wife, we'll never fly American again. Now, this was like 14 years ago. Now, I didn't book this flight, my wife did, so technically it's her fault, right? We flew from Boston to Buffalo to go to my brother-in-law's 80th birthday. He is a handicapped Vietnam veteran. We're going to his birthday party. We don't know, it might be his last one, we don't know. And we flew from Boston to Buffalo on JetBlue. Nice people, friendly. They were on time, took them an hour to get out. We went, rented a car, drove to the brother-in-law's place. But unfortunately, on the way back, they didn't have any flights for us on JetBlue to go from Buffalo to Boston, a 57-minute flight. So she booked American Airlines. And then this whole fiasco started, just like in Miami. Now, I gave them a chance, right? I gave them a chance. Well, my wife gave them a chance. And what happens? Even worse. Not only were we stuck in Buffalo for a 57-minute flight that we had to take the next day, but they would not pay for the hotel room. So I had to fork out $290 to stay in the Marriott that was across the street. And interestingly enough, it was so bad that after all these hours, the pilot actually came out of the plane and talked to us and was very apologetic. And he explained that the flight attendant had called an hour before they were taking off and said, oh, I don't feel well, I'm not showing up to work. And he was very apologetic. So, the funniest thing of it all is when he walked out of the gangplank there, whatever you call it, out of the plane into where we were all waiting, he looked at me and he said, oh, Scotty, I'm so sorry. I said, oh, you know who I am? He says, yeah, I watch your videos all the time. So I said to him, well, you know, I'm here to help people out, right? I said, why on earth do you fly for American Airlines? And he said, well, I've flown for various airlines, and I have to admit, American is the worst, but I signed a contract. And until my contract is over, if I quit, I have to pay American Airlines $250,000, right? Now, I don't know if this is true or not. Seemed like an honest God, probably is true. So he'd be stuck until his contract up, flying with this horrible airline, or he's got to pay them $250,000. Now, who on earth would run a business like that? You're threatening your own employees. And speaking of being threatened, well, I was patted down, even in the crotch area, getting into the airport. Kind of makes me wonder, but to add insult to injury, my brother-in-law, he lives in Houston. He was visiting Canada because his wife's from Thunder Bay, Ontario. So, when they came to the airport, they searched him. And they searched his wife with a pat down. Now, here's an 80-year-old guy and his wife. He's a disabled Vietnam vet, right? He can barely walk, and they're searching this guy. It's just crazy. I mean, I don't know what's going on in Buffalo. Though I can understand what might have happened to me while I got patted down is this, okay? Maybe the guy saw that I had a boarding pass that said, I'm going to Boston. Now, this is the Buffalo airport. And if you know anything about Buffalo sports, Buffalo in the sports world is known as the city of losers because the NHL team and the NFL team have never won a championship. They've gotten there, but they've always lost. They've always faded away, right? But when you fly into Logan Airport and walk around, they got banners all over the place that say Boston, City of Championships. They've won so many NBA championships, NHL championships, of course, NFL with Tom Brady, right? So maybe they were just mad. And if anybody's going to Boston, it's like, yeah, you're going to the city of winners from the city of losers. We hate them. Who knows? Who has any idea, right? Now, I'm really disappointed by the Buffalo airport because we were there about 15 years ago. We had great sandwiches. They had a nice little Italian restaurant, made some nice food and stuff, and it was really good. But now, almost everything there was pre-packaged garbage. The sandwich shop was gone. There was a Italian pizza restaurant, if you want to put it in quotation marks, but in it was a grouchy, middle-aged, dyed red-haired woman who was making what I would only say were pizza hockey pucks. They were horrendous. I'm watching her make them. She gets the dough out of the freezer, right? And then opens up a can of sauce and flops a little bit on each one, smooths it out, puts some grated cheese, and that was it. That's not a pizza. And hey, I don't know if you know Buffalo. Buffalo has some of the best Italian food in the world, right? And they used to have decent stuff at the airport. Now it's just crap. And all the other places had packaged sandwiches and all that nonsense, right? Buffalo, you should be ashamed of your airport. You should be totally ashamed. You treat the people poorly. Your food is absolute garbage. And it used to be so good. Kind of makes you wonder, you know, is it that these people aren't paid much and they're disgruntled employees, right? I'm sure that the American Airlines people, at least the people that work in the desk, we came the next day and actually flew out at 6:15 in the morning. The woman that came up was grouchy, had this look on her face like, last place I want to be is Buffalo on a Sunday morning, getting tickets to people, putting them on a plane. You'd think they'd be grateful to have a job in Buffalo. I grew up around there, right, in the 60s. In the 60s to today, Buffalo, the city, has lost more than 50% of their population, right? So, if you got a job there, hey, at least you got a job, right? But it's unbelievable. Unbelievable. People used to be friendly there at the airport. Now it's just like Grouch City. But getting back to American Airlines and their horrendous not on time, while we were waiting, 2:30 in the afternoon, one of the passengers, who was a fan of mine, says, hey, Scotty, look at this. He says, look at the big board. And a giant big board, all the American flights, only 2 of them were on time. The rest were either canceled or they were just delayed. Now, there wasn't a cloud in the sky there in Buffalo, right? We couldn't go because, well, somehow American Airlines has no procedure for if an airline attendant doesn't show up, they can't replace it with anybody. They have nobody to replace it with, which kind of amazes me, right? To be like, oh, your house is burning down. You call the fire department, and they'll say, I'm sorry, we can't come. We're short of firemen. We got to wait for this guy, right? Maybe we'll come tomorrow. You don't see the firemen doing that, right? Just getting kind of ominous now. There's a plane flying over here. Are they listening to me? I don't know. But if they can't have anything set up in situation that if somebody doesn't show up, they don't have a replacement, what kind of an airline is this? And of course, the woman at the desk kept saying, oh, well, I'm sorry, but there's nothing I can do about it, knowing that the average person can't do anything about it, right? You can complain, the manager doesn't even show up to do anything about it, because obviously they don't care. But that's why I'm making this video, okay? I've got over 3 billion views on YouTube. Hopefully, a whole bunch of you will watch this video and be warned about what a horrible airline American Airlines is. Now, of course, how I and most of the other passengers were treated, they didn't get free room and board either. They had to pay at the Hilton next to where I stayed. It was a little more expensive at the Hilton, so I stayed at the Marriott. But American Airlines just thinks, so we inconvenienced 90 people or something. What are they going to do about it, right? That's why I'm making this video, because I have over 3 billion views on my YouTube channel. Hopefully, everyone will start watching this and share it with other people to warn them. Do not fly American Airlines. They don't care. They treat you like dirt. They probably treat their employees like dirt, too. I mean, the pilot admitted to me that, hey, if he quits, he's got to pay a $250,000 fee to them because he quit being a pilot for him. So, let me tell you, their new slogan for their 100th anniversary, 1926 to 2026, is Forever Forward. Well, if this is the direction that the future is headed towards, there's not much hope for this country at all.